Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We have a lot of content coming out every single week. Our usual shout out of appreciation to our patrons. All those tips and support are only going to go towards making the channel better. Hopefully adding more games in, such as roulette, as soon as we are able to. We hope you guys are appreciating those exclusive videos we're putting out for you guys on the site. If anybody's curious about it, go ahead and check the description down below this video. If you have any strategies, questions related to craps, blackjack, baccarat, pai-gow, anything else casino related or even Las Vegas related, feel free to email us at sincityliving.lv@gmail.com. We love shooting these videos for you guys. It seems to ebb and flow. We haven't gotten a whole lot of emails lately. And that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into today's video, which is part of our Greatest Hits series, where we reissue our most popular videos. And for today, it's going to be the dark side. We're going to talk about the dark side of the table. Now, before I get into the dark side, one thing I do want to say, one of the things that really amuses dealers to hear, because it usually tells us the person doesn't understand the game very well, is when they say the people that bet the dark side, the don't pass or the don't come, are betting with the casino. That's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. If it was possible to bet with the casino, the game wouldn't exist. That bet would not exist. Casinos don't care what you bet as long as you bet. They're going to make their money, period. There is a house edge built into just about every single bet. In fact, direct lays have actually a pretty high house edge when you get right down to it. Now, with don't pass and don't comes, where you're not paying a fig, then it changes things a little bit, and it's based a little bit on the number rolled. But considering that you have to get past the come out roll, which has very, very bad odds for a don't pass or don't come player, it is still very much in the house's favor. All right, saying that somebody that is betting the don't pass is betting with the casino or with the house is like saying that somebody that is betting red in roulette is betting with the house just because everybody else is betting black. That just makes no sense. Again, the casino doesn't care what you bet as long as you bet. So, what is the dark side? The dark side is betting against the number that is being rolled. The way we put it is betting against the next roll of the dice. Right? Just like we say the pass line is betting for the next roll of the dice. So basically, when you bet a don't pass, you were saying that whatever number rolls, as long as it's one of these numbers that actually starts the game, okay, 7 right there, the don't pass would lose. Right? The don't pass is a reflection of the pass line. So the areas where the pass line would win, 7 and 11, the don't pass will lose. The areas where the pass will lose, 2, 3, and 12, the don't pass will win with the exception of the 12. This bars the 12. That's what bar 12 means. It bars the 12. Right? It's not the don't pass bar. It's the don't pass barring the 12. That's where the house edge is built in on that 12. Okay? That's what increases the house edge, rather, is on that 12. So with the 7 and 11 losing on a don't pass, you have 8 ways to lose and only 3 ways to win on the 2 and the 3. Because the 12, again, is a push. You bar the 12. So 8 ways to win, 3 ways to lose out of the 36 combinations of the dice. Anything else sets a point, which starts the game. So with a 9 rolling, now that we've started the game, the don't pass is betting that a 7 comes before the 9, whereas a pass line would be betting that a 9 comes before the 7. All they are is reflections of each other. Again, you're not betting with the house. The house, honest to God, does not care which side of the table, which side of the dice you bet on, because they have their house edge either way. All you're doing with a don't pass is you're betting on how you think the dice are going to come. That's it. You're just betting on whether or not you think a 7 is more likely than whatever number comes next. Again, no different than betting red or black in roulette. You're betting which way you think that ball is going to land. It has nothing to do with anybody else. The don't pass has nothing to do with all the players that are betting the pass line. Absolutely nothing to do with them. It's none of their business, and it doesn't affect them in any way, shape, or form. You're just betting what you think the dice are going to do. Now, once you have a number, so again, that come out roll is the most dangerous spot for the don't pass. Getting past the come out roll is the key. I've seen many a don't pass player get annihilated on a long come out roll, where they win once or twice on some 2s and 3s, but they lose 6 or 7 times on some 7s and 11s. I've seen that so many times. Once you get to a number, the odds favor you. That does not mean I haven't seen people get annihilated on the don'ts. I absolutely have. Just like I've seen people on pass line get annihilated. If you get a lot of 7-outs, pass line people get annihilated. If you've got a lot of winners, don't pass people get annihilated. Again, the casino's going to make their money either way. Doesn't matter which side you're playing on. But once you have a point, now you can do what's called a lay. A lay is exactly like odds on the don't pass or on the pass line. Where it is true odds, there is 0 house edge. There's no house edge built into a lay. Now, because it is true odds, you have to bet more to win less. Your flat bet will always pay even money, but now if you want to do a lay, you have to bet more to win less. It's true odds. Okay? So on a 9, the odds are 2 to 3. Right? 3 ways to win, 2 ways to lose, basically. It's technically 6 ways to win, 4 ways to lose, but 3 to 2. 3 to 2, which means that your lay must be divisible by 3. So if you did 30, that works. It's divisible by 3. Lays must be healed off, and they should be closest to the dealers. They come around, we're supposed to pay the lays first and the flat bet. Not hugely critical, but that's technically the proper way to do it. So that $30, if a 7 were to roll, that $30 would pay you 20. Every 3 pays 2. And then your flat bet would pay you even money. If you were on the 8, every 6 pays 5. Your odds are 5 to 6. So you could do 30 again, and it would pay you 25. On the 10 or the 4, pays half, 1 to 2. Every 2 pays you 1, so that 30 would pay you 15. That's why I usually recommend to people to do your lay if you're going to bet the don'ts, unless you're really, really, really familiar with it, really understand it. I recommend that people generally do their lays in units of 30, because 30 is proper on every single number. Your lay must be proper. So 30 is proper for every single number. So do 30, 60, 90, 120, whatever you may want to do. So that's the don't pass. Now, what if you want to continue betting? Then you can do the don't come. Don't come is the exact opposite of the come bet. Whereas the come bet is betting on the next roll of the dice, the don't come is betting against the next roll of the dice, whatever the next number may roll. Basically, it's starting a brand new game. You're starting a brand new game all over again. So while you're here in the don't come, you have a come out roll. Next roll of the dice is a come out roll for you. So 7 or 11, you're going to lose. 2 and 3, you're going to win. 12, you're going to push. Anything else, you're going to travel behind the number. So if a 6 were to roll, you would come behind the number. Now, again, at this point, you can go ahead and do your lay. You could do a $30 lay. And you could, of course, do another don't come. You can keep doing don't comes as much as you like. If the number rolls, like if a 6 rolls, then you would lose because you bet that a 7 would come before a 6, and then your new one would travel in. Then you could go ahead and throw in another $30 and do another lay if you like. Now, most people that bet the dark side, especially if they're betting the don't comes, most people are only going to do a 2 or 3 point Molly system. They're only going to allow themselves to come behind maybe 2 numbers, max 3 numbers. For most people. The reason for that is it's somewhat of a bit of a protection for you against a hot shooter. If you suddenly have the shooter that goes on a 20-minute roll, you're only going to lose a couple of your don'ts and maybe your don't pass. Only a couple of your DCs and your don't pass. Don't chase. Some people will chase and they lose their entire bankroll off one shooter. Don't chase. If you're trying to bet the don'ts and you come across that decent shooter, that hot shooter that's throwing 2 or 3 winners, or you're coming down behind, just wait for the next shooter. That's what most don't players do. If they're playing, especially if they're playing the DC, they run into a hot shooter, they just wait for the next shooter. They just stop trying to chase, stop butting their head into the wall, and just wait. They just wait for the next shooter. They may even flip sides. Though I always say you can't hit a moving target, it's generally a good idea to pick one side or the other and stick with it. They have been known to flip-flop sides, or even just in a small way. Not saying that if you go down behind that you should suddenly do come bets or go ahead and do 135 across. But some players will only do a couple DCs, and when they come down behind, they don't chase them again. And if a winner rolls, they lose their don't pass. And on the next come out roll, they might do a table minimum pass line bet. with odds and then just sit there and wait. They don't want to do any more DCs. They have a little bit of skin in the game now. Maybe they do, a couple 6 and 8s or something like that. Some players will switch sides, go to the other side for a hot shooter. Again, don't get too invested in it. Start it small, and then you can build up, but don't throw your whole bankroll out on either side, really. And that right there is the dark side, how it works, and whether or not you may or may not want to play it is entirely up to you, but that is the dark side in a nutshell. There are things called direct lays. Look for that in another video. And otherwise, thank you for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Bye now.